Interview.
Hi there, we're here with Matthew Pearce, lead programmer from Chrome Studios, who's here to talk to us about Star Wars The Force Unleashed for the Wii, the PS2 and the PSP. Matthew, it's a bit of a coup for an Australian studio to land such a major franchise. Can you tell us a bit of the background as to how Chrome got to work on Star Wars The Force Unleashed?
Basically, we knew some people who were now working at LucasArts. They'd worked with us before, they knew who we were. And they knew they were looking for somebody who could make a game well on the PS2 and the Wii and the PSP. So they spoke to us. We put a whole lot of effort into putting a demo together, basically, to show off what we could do and what we sort of thought we could make out of a Star Wars game. And we jumped on a plane, actually, a few of us, and had a bit of experience. Flew straight over to San Francisco to see them there in person and showed them what we had. And I think we impressed them pretty well. So we're actually really proud of having brought a big franchise like Star Wars to Australia. We think it's a real sign of how our industry is really coming to the top of the world. There's some really great titles that are being developed here now.
So how long has the game been in gestation for now at Chrome Studios?
At Chrome Studios, it's been about 2 years now. We started off originally with just development going on in the Brisbane office, and then we expanded out to have the PSP development going on in Adelaide, and after we acquired Infogrames Melbourne House, which is now Chrome Melbourne, they were then handling the Wii SKU of the game, so the version of the game of what we were making converted over to the Wii and adding all the extra stuff that happens there.
Can you tell us what sort of differences will there be between the three platforms that you're working on, so the Wii, the PS2 and the PSP?
Sure, well there's some exclusive content in our version of the game which isn't in the next-gen version of the game. That includes a few levels and missions, including the Jedi Temple, which you saw in the demonstration today, and also the Nasharabar. And there's also some unique content for both the PSP and the Wii versions of the game. On the Wii, you have dual mode, where you have a choice of 27 different characters, some from the original Star Wars movies, some of the expanded universe characters, and basically you can both play on the same console. You get to choose a character each and basically kick each other's ass with the Force. It's a lot of fun, really. Basically, you can get in there. It's very hands-on with the Wiimotes and basically have a go at each other. On the PSP, we also have Unleashed mode, which has a few special modes in it, such as Order 66, historic missions, where you get to go back and play some of the classic missions from the original Star Wars movies. But basically with a Force Unleashed edge. It's a new twist on the old battles because, of course, being the Force Unleashed games, the Force is a much bigger thing. Force Lightning's bigger, Force Push is bigger, and all of that. And the PSP also has ad hoc wireless mode, so you can have up to 4 players with different PSPs, and you can sit together and you can play versus each other on that.
Let's just stick with the Wii version for a little bit. I guess it's going one step closer to everyone's dream of having a lightsaber game for the Wii. How hard was it to implement those type of controls into the Wiimote?
Well, yeah, I couldn't tell you sort of how hard it is per se, but it really, one thing that really came out very clearly, and there was a bit of discussion I think you could sort of see happening on the net about what was going to happen with this. You can't really do a lightsaber game one for one. It doesn't really make sense to take a Wiimote and try and make it the lightsaber do exactly what you want to do. It really just wouldn't work with how a Wiimote responds to what you do. I think the control scheme that we've come up with in the end is a really good balance to both give you that direct feel and that really, that real connectedness to the game and to what your character's doing, and at the same time making it something that's easy to control and understand how to use it. So you do have, the animated response in the character. So if you swing up, the character swings the saber up. If you swing down, the character swings down, left, right. But without having to sort of try and block lasers yourself. I'm sure if somebody, I don't know about you, but if I was actually had somebody shooting a blaster at me, I wouldn't want to have to block it myself. I'd rather the character use the Force to do it. So.
Still a few months to go before release of all 3 platforms. What's the team focusing on in the next few months?
Right. Well, at the moment, it's really down to polish and making sure that we're adhering to all the requirements for the different console manufacturers for publication and all of those elements there. So.
Just one last question then. Was it ever daunting or scary to to realize that you are taking on one of the world's biggest sort of and most well-known franchises?
Yeah, there is a moment there where you pinch yourself and you sort of realize, wow, we're working on Star Wars. There's for a lot of guys at Chrome, I think this was really a big dream of theirs to work on something like this, and to be able to do that. And again, you were talking about how it's a big thing for a title like this to come to Australia. It really shows that you don't have to go overseas to work on something big and great like The Force Unleashed. That's something that now happens in the Australian industry. And when you realise that this is something that people really love the Star Wars franchise, and people are always excited to see what gets done with it, and the fact that not only do we get to be a part of the Star Wars story that's evolving, but we're effectively writing one of the the big new chapters. This is the new branch with Unleashed. And it's really exploring that really interesting time in the Star Wars sort of continuum between the first trilogy and the second trilogy. What happens for between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. Where all the Jedi's disappear, and what did Darth Vader get up to there? So it's really great to be a part of that story. We're really proud of it.
Matthew Pearce, thanks for your time.
Thank you.